Hey everyone, Ittarra here, bringing you an in-depth look at the Soulcalibur VI. In this one, we're going to see if we can find any tidbits and information, and this is just purely my opinion on how things are going to go. Now, this is going to go frame by frame. I have it open in Vegas so I can do that for you guys, because there seems to be a lot of misunderstood information. One thing I want to immediately point out is this is Sophidia's stage from Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate, where she was a guest character. Now, as you can clearly tell in this opening cutscene, Mitsurugi went back to his Soulcalibur I outfit. Let me pause it right here. But as you can clearly tell in this frame, Sophidia is not in her Soulcalibur I, but in her Soulcalibur IV outfit, I believe. Soulcalibur 3, maybe? Soulcalibur 3. So what this actually means is that this is probably a prequel, because a little bit later in this trailer, we're just going to let this play real quick, you will see there's Soulcalibur here. Let's go frame by frame here real quick. There's Soulcalibur here, or that was Soul Edge, and then here's Soulcalibur from Soulcalibur 4. But the interesting thing here to note is this Nightmare right here, this sword, is from Soulcalibur 4 and 3. So let's keep going forward a little bit here. However, when we go into the image of Soul Edge itself, here's Soulcalibur 5. Soulcalibur 5 once more. More Soulcalibur 5. And then here's Soulcalibur 4. Soulcalibur 2. This is the explosion. And then here's Soulcalibur 2's Soulcalibur for Xianghua, or Soul Edge for Xianghua. And this all happened with Sophidia being knocked unconscious by Mitsurugi during his, I wouldn't want to say critical image. Now, we'll get into the meter and dynamics and stuff like that later. What this tells me this is probably not a reboot, but a prequel in of itself, where the Astral Chaos is now a time-traveling mechanic. And by time travel, I don't mean like, oh, we're going to go back in time, we're going to deal with... So that would mess up with the timeline in of itself. What this looks like to me is this is a prequel of Sophidia's journey through the Astral Chaos, because as we know in Soulcalibur 5, her official lore is that she was in the Astral Chaos. So let's keep going a little bit further. Now, this right here, as you can clearly tell with the counter system and everything else, I feel like this is not necessarily a meter burn, but I feel like this is a wager, like rock, paper, scissors. You guys have to guess what's going to happen. If you're wondering what that is, look up Injustice, the Injustice meter system. That's what this looks like. It looks like a wager system, because look at how far they get knocked back into neutral. And then here they go again with the clash, as well as the fact that there's the in-depth cinematic for it. Now, same animations, however, this time Sophidia is able to dodge. Mitsurugi's like, oh shit, what have I just got myself into? But, as you can see here, with the automatic parry and so on and so forth, this is probably a wager that was lost on Mitsurugi's behalf. Because this type of thing can happen. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring this up as well is the simple fact that this right here is just all indicative of a actual meter system / clash. But, on the same token, you could clearly tell that there was also an EX move when it came to Mitsurugi's little 3-hit combo that he did. Now, let's go ahead and speed up just a little bit here. This guy right here is actually from Final Fantasy. Now, you might be wondering, how the hell do you know that? His name is, I believe you pronounce it, Callus or Caius Balland. Now, the reason why we know this is because of the simple fact that he always wielded a dual sword. And the dual sword in of itself is a purple and white dual sword. That's just as plain as easy as it can be. Also, he had the clashing silver gauntlet with the purple gauntlet. He's the only one that can actually fit this entire thing. And that's my, like, official prediction on who the guest character is, because it'll either be that, or it'll be Sao P from Dynasty Warriors. Now, keep in mind that they did lend their character Sophidia over to Dynasty Warriors in general with Dynasty Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate, so it would be pretty interesting. I feel like my top 2 picks would be Salpy from Dynasty Warriors, as well as Caius Balin from Final Fantasy, because everybody wants a Final Fantasy character in Soulcalibur. Now, a couple of things I did notice about everything in general was during the trailer, let's see if we can go back to that nightmare part here, was Sophidia being unconscious. Okay, we're gonna go frame by frame here once more. Here's the Soulcalibur from the first game, but then this right here, which she was a part of. However, this does not equate to anything. Her having flashbacks of 5 mean nothing, because of the simple fact that she was not around. She was technically considered dead. Unless you want to go the route of her actual personification, Patroclus, wishing that she was Elysium, which was the spirit for inside Soulcalibur. So, if you want to go that route, that would actually make a lot more sense that her being Elysium actually meant something. But as you can clearly tell here, in this, I know this frame is blurry as hell, but this is Patroclus and Pura Omega holding Soul Edge, shattering Soulcalibur. That was the end of the story. And then a quick glimpse into Soulcalibur 3, Soulcalibur 2, 3, and then all of a sudden she comes back to it. So my official thesis, my theory on this, is that Sophidia really was the embodiment of Soulcalibur. She really was Elysium, which was the spirit inside of it, and everything else. It wasn't just an image to make Patroclus feel more comfortable. It was actually, I feel like it really was Sophidia trying to come back from the Astral Chaos. Now, the one thing I can admit that I wish I could see in all of this is where Nightmare is, where's Soul Edge. Like, I would have loved to see this. Now, we're going to let just this entire cinematic go through so you guys can actually see it full-fledged once more. To me, this looks exactly like the wager system from Injustice and Injustice 2. Now, how that would actually equate to something, it would make the meter system a lot more prevalent because of Brave Edges and so on and so forth, but it would also mean that GIs and guard impacts would have to come back to being meterless. That's one of the biggest things I can say about it. Because if the meter system is there, you should not have to actually do meter or cost meter to get your GIs or just guards or whatever else. There should not be anything like that. If this is the wager system from Injustice 2, this will bring a whole new dynamic to how you expend your meter. Because beforehand, it was just like, oh, here's a Brave Edge, here's a CE, and stuff like that. It didn't really have much use. But if we're going on wager system and it can lead to something as big as a full-fledged combo that could actually push somebody to the ring edge, it's absolutely ridiculous. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, especially about the guest character. Do you think it'd be Sal P, or do you think it'd be somebody, or do you think it'd be the main antagonist from Final Fantasy 13-2? And also, let me know what you think about the actual in-game graphics with how Mitsurugi and everything else looked. Because honestly, if this is a prequel and we're going back to Soulcalibur 1 and we're going through the steps and the journey and everything else, that would actually make for an interesting storyline, because it would actually shed light on interesting tidbits that might have not been shown in Soulcalibur 4. I don't count Soulcalibur 5, because there was just literally nothing there. You had to go and pull a Destiny and go research on your own. We didn't need that. But this is my whole in-depth thing. I want to leave you guys to the comment section down below. Let's generate some actual conversation about this, because there's a lot here, just enough to whet the appetite, but at the same token, we need to figure this out together, because I really want to know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Don't worry, I'll be answering back to every comment. Let me know what you guys think, okay? Because this is huge. This is absolutely astronomical. If you can't tell, my voice is still gone from last night from the reaction. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I will meet you there. You guys have a good day, and stay safe, and let's get some more Soulcalibur 6 going. Yes! Take care, everyone, and be safe. Later! Oh, and by the way, there was a 15-second mini-clip actually released of actual gameplay footage and everything else. Stances are back in Soulcalibur 6. Hell the hell yes. Let's fucking go. We in this now. Let's frickin' go.